Now the step number 2 is a design of pin. Now the pin is designed first on the basis of crushing stress, second on the basis of bearing pressure, and third on the basis of double shear stress. So first of all, consider the first point based on crushing stress. Okay, so this is a lever and we have bracket like this, and through this bracket it has hole on both the side, and the lever has also hole. So this, through the common hole of this bracket and lever, we have inserted pin. So this type of structure will be there at this middle point, that is at fulcrum, and at this point at which W load will be attached. Okay, so at all these three holes the structure will be like same. Okay, so that we can have the relative motion between this lever and bracket with the help of pin. Okay, so at the end of this bracket we can attach either load, either we can connect the effort to lift this load, or we can use this bracket as a fulcrum. Okay, now we know that during the operation of this lever there is a relative motion between this bracket and lever at all these 3 points. Okay, so there will be a crushing stress acting on this pin. Okay, so for a visualization of crushing stress, let us consider this side view of this diagram. So this is a bracket, and this, through this bracket and lever arm we have inserted pin. Okay, now the pin will be subjected to crushing stress in the lever on this portion. Okay, so this is the portion of pin which is subjected to crushing stress. So this is the circumferential surface of pin which is subjected to crushing stress. Now in order to find out the area subjected to crushing stress, we have to draw this diagram like this. So we have to consider the portion of pin subjected to crushing stress. We don't have to consider overall or total length of pin. So this is the portion of pin, that is only this much portion of pin subjected to crushing stress. And in order to find out the area subjected to crushing stress, we have to take the projected area. So let us find out this projected area. So this is the area subjected to crushing stress. Now about its dimension. Now we have to take the notation for diameter of this pin as a D. Okay, and its length as L. So to find out the area subjected to crushing stress, we have to find out this dimensions of rectangular area. So height of this rectangular area will be height of this pin, that is L, and this width of this rectangle will be the diameter of this pin, that is small d. So we can write the equation to find out the induced crushing stress in this pin as sigma c. So we know that sigma c is equal to P upon A, but here P, we have to take the maximum from PWR. So we have to write here maximum of PW or R, because here we cannot take P always, we cannot take W as always. So depending on the maximum value of PWR, we have to select the value. So we have to write here, instead of P, maximum value of PWR upon area. Area is L into D. Okay, so this is the equation for crushing stress in the pin, and from this equation we have to calculate the diameter of pin D. And as in this equation, the value of crushing stress, value of permissible crushing stress will be given in the problem. Maximum PWR we can calculate from the step number 1, and D we have to calculate. But here again one more is unknown, that is length of pin. So we have to take a relation between L and D as L is equal to 1.25 D. Okay, so by putting this relation, we can calculate D from the above equation. In the above equation, put L is equal to 1.25 D, that is length is equal to 1.25 times of diameter. sigma c as permissible crushing stress, which will be given in the problem, and maximum from PWR, and calculate a diameter of pin, that is small d. Now the second criteria to design the pin, that is to find out the diameter of pin, is based on bearing pressure. Now the bearing pressure and crushing stress are almost same. Only difference is that crushing stress is considered when there is no relative motion between the parts, and bearing pressure is considered when there is a relative motion between the parts. And as we know that this lever, during the operation, for some time there will not be relative motion between this pin and lever, that is this pin and lever, and sometimes there will be relative motion between this pin and lever. Okay, so we have already considered that crushing stress acting on the pin, and we have developed the equation to find out diameter of pin. Now second, we have to develop the equation to find out the diameter of pin based on bearing pressure, and bearing pressure is nothing but, or it is similar to the crushing stress. Only difference is that it is considered when there is a relative motion between two parts, that is pin and lever. As we know that there is a relative motion between this pin and this lever, because this lever oscillates, and in order to keep this force or load W or effort P in vertical downward direction, this bracket has to be in vertical direction. So there has to be some relative motion between this bracket and lever. So because of that relative motion, there is a crushing stress acting on the pin of this lever, and the bearing pressure acting on these two surfaces of pin. The bearing pressure is acting on these two surfaces of pin in this figure, but actually it acts on the complete periphery of pin. Okay, so we have to use the same equation, that is same area, to find out bearing pressure acting on the pin. Okay, so we can draw this diagram again, because this bearing pressure is very similar to crushing stress. So we can draw this diagram like this. Again we can find the projected area like this. So this is the projected area subjected to bearing pressure, and the length of this pin is L, and diameter of this pin is D. Okay, so this is the area subjected to bearing pressure, and bearing pressure is denoted by P suffix B, and this bearing pressure is given by equation force upon area. But we know that the force that we have to select is maximum from this PW or R. So we have to write as force, instead of force we have to write as maximum of PW or R upon area. Now area is the projected area, and this area can be calculated from this rectangle. So height of this rectangle is equal to length of this pin, and width is equal to diameter of this pin. So width is D, height is L, so area is L into D. So here also we have to put this permissible value of bearing pressure, maximum from PWR and R. L is equal to 1.25 D, and we have to calculate D. So we can write the same sentences here. Instead of only sigma C, we have to write as PB, that is permissible bearing pressure. So finally you can write the sentence like this: put in above equation L is equal to 1.25 D, that is length is equal to 1.25 times of a diameter of pin, PB permissible bearing pressure value, which will be given in the numerical, and maximum of this PWR here in the numerator, and then calculate diameter of pin small d. So this is the second point based on which we can calculate the diameter of pin. Now the third criteria to find out the diameter of pin is based on double shear stress. Okay, so a pin may be subjected to double shear failure. So to find the location of double shear failure in the pin, consider this side view. So in this side view, this is a pin, and this is a bracket, and this is lever. Okay, and this pin is inserted into the common hole of this bracket and lever. So during the operation of lever oscillates, and the force, it is subjected to forces like P, W and R, and because of these forces the pin may be subjected to shear failure in these two planes. So it may be subjected to either in these two planes or in these two planes. Okay, so pin may be subjected to double shear failure either in these two planes or in these two planes, and if the diameter of pin is small d, the total area subjected to shear stress is twice into pi by 4 d square. So we can write the shear stress equation shear stress developed in the pin by equation tau is equal to P upon A, that is force upon area, but force we don't have to consider only P, so we have to consider the maximum of P, W or R upon area is, as failure may takes place in the two planes. Okay, so we have to consider two areas, so 2 into pi by 4 d square. So from this equation we can calculate the diameter of pin by putting the value of permissible shear stress and maximum of Pw and R. So we can write here, from above equation calculate diameter of pin small d. So in above equation we can put the tau permissible shear stress, which will be given in the problem, maximum from Pw and R, which is calculated from the step number 1, and then we can calculate the diameter of pin small d. Okay, so basically we have seen that there are three points from where we can calculate the diameter of pin. First, based on crushing stress, second based on bearing pressure, and third based on this double shear stress. So out of these three values of diameter of pin, we have to select the maximum value of diameter of pin. So we have to write one sentence like this. So you need to write this sentence: select the maximum value of diameter of pin small d from above three criterias. So the maximum value of diameter of pin will be used further for a design of lever.